Uh, Good morning, everyone. So, as I told you just now, that we will be going for the revision of chapter 2, that is writing and city life. Basically, writing, the development of writing, which took place in the initial stages, was during the civilization of Mesopotamia. And what was the geographical condition of Mesopotamia, and how did it help in the development of writing and in urbanization, that we are going to discuss today. As we know that Mesopotamia is actually has derived from a Greek word. Mesos means middle and Potamia means river. So this place Mesopotamia, which in today's time falls under the region of Iraq, actually there were two rivers. One is Euphrates and another one is Tigris. So a land between the two rivers was known as Mesopotamia. So what was the geographical features of this land? The specific geographical features were the two major rivers which flow through the country. One name, as I said, is Euphrates, and another, the Tigris, that flowed from north to south. If you can refer to the map which is given, it used to flow from north to south. So, whatever discharges the water used to bring towards the southern, and their waters into, and the rivers used to get mixed up in the Persian Gulf. These rivers, along with their sediments, made the land very, very fertile, and the natural channels provided not only the means of irrigation but also cheap and easy mode of transport. So two things, the sediments of these rivers which used to flow from the northern part to the southern part, along with it used to bring silts which was very, very fertile. So this not only made the banks of the river very fertile, but this river also made the mode of transport easy and comfortable and cheaper also. It is because of, like the other old civilization of the world, if you compare it with Indus Valley civilization, Mesopotamian civilization is also known as, because of these two rivers, the entire civilization developed around these two rivers. That is, because of this civilization is also called river valley civilization, same as Indus Valley civilization, that Harappan and Mohenjo-daro, that is because of the river Indus. So similarly, this civilization is also known as in river civilization. Okay. And it was a land of diverse environments in the northeast, because it's a huge time from the northern part to the southern part. So in the northeast, the undulating plains with enough rainfall to grow crops were ideal for development for agriculture, and the upland called steppes, okay, in the north, the stretch of are well suited for animal herding. Animals like sheep and goat, which also produced milk and meat and wool in abundance. So the environmental conditions, one part was getting heavy rainfall, and the cultivation was made easy. Another part, the because of the steppes grassland, animal rearing and animal herding was made easy. So because of this, the animal herding was also there, and specifically, as I said, the sheep and goats, which was not only giving them milk but meat also, as well as wool in abundance. And to the east, the tributaries of Tigris river provided routes for communication. If you look into the map, you can get a better idea that communication between Babylon, Uruk, Ur, these cities. And to the west of the region is bound by the Syrian desert. If you can see that this part has got desert which merges with the Arabian desert. Now, the southern part, it is a desert, but it is here that the first cities and the writing emerged. This desert could support cities because River Euphrates and Tigris carried loads of silt, which just now I said. So these rivers were flooded and provided possibilities of cultivation. So one thing you can keep in mind, that in spite of being a deserted southern part, because the silt used to get carried, by, or the river used to get bring the silts towards the southern part. So the first civilization actually happened during in the southern part of Mesopotamia. The As Mesopotamia was not protected by natural features, streams of people poured, and this intermixture added to the vitality of the civilization. Mesopotamia can roughly be divided into two distinct regions. One is north and another is south, having very, very different environments. North, as I said, that steppes land, and southern part having the uh, enough rainfall. So the southernmost part of the Mesopotamia was known as Sumeria. If you want to write it down, you have already written, we are revising. Sumeria was the southernmost part. The area lying between Sumeria and northern Mesopotamia was called Akkad. So the different civilization, Akkadian, Sumerian, this happened in this way. Fine. And Sumeria and Akkad together constituted the southern Mesopotamia. And from 2000 BCE onwards are referred as Babylonia. So what did we learn? That different, because it was an intermixture of people were allowed to pour in, and because of the trade, which we will be talking later on, enough trading and very, very cheaper transportation was available. So because of this, the southern part, the Sumerian civilization developed, and then Akkadian civilization developed. So merging the Sumerian and Akkadian, the latest one was called, which after 2000 BCE it was called the Babylonia. Okay, Babylonia. Now, let us quickly talk about that how, because the chapter name says that writing and city life. City life developed, we can understand, we will be talking distinctly about Mari, we will talk about Ur and Uruk, but what was there, that the writing developed, and it is believed to be the human beings first civilization which developed writing. Before I start with it, I want to remind you about the incident of Enmerkar, if you can recall, those who attended the classes. So what we learned, that Enmerkar wanted to beautify his area, so he was in need of lapis lazuli. If you can recall, lapis lazuli is a blue colored material which is used to decorate the stones and the wall part of a building. So Enmerkar asked one of his messenger to travel towards one distinct place, and asked the king of that place to provide him with lapis lazuli. Now, this messenger, when he traveled, as because there are numerous different land features, so crossing the rivers and going through the forest and going towards the other landforms, ultimately, after 2-3 months, when the messenger reached that place, he forgot what he was asked to be brought up. So he was thinking, the queen asked him, and he tried to, make him understand what was his need, because he was there to help him. But he forgot totally after 2-3 months that what was the requirement. He forgot the name. So again he traveled back to Enmarkar, and again it took so long time. And when he reached, he could say that I forgot what I was supposed to do. So second time, when Enmarkar, made it very clear that This is the thing. He showed him how lapis lazuli looked, and then again he was sent. But the same incident happened. By the time crossing all the environmental conditions, when the messenger used to reach that place, he used to fall. So ultimately, Enmerkar was a learned king. So he made a tablet ready and he wrote in that, and then the tablet was carried to that king, and the king understood, and lapis lazuli was provided to Enmerkar. Now you can understand what is the importance of writing. So, when we talk about the importance of writing, we should quickly recapitulate that how development of art of writing was important for the people of Mesopotamia. As we know that in the early Mesopotamian script, it was pictograph. Pictograph means pictures were given, which you all do nowadays, that when you are not feeling good, you send a grumpy face, a smiley. So, and when you are like okay, then you put a thumbs up. So these are pictures representing your mood. So the first kind of writing which was taken up by the people of Sumer were pictographs, and later evolved a proper system of writing called cuneiform. And development of art of writing was very, very important. Why? Number one, to keep record of transactions and facilitated the trade. What are the transactions taking place? Because when we discuss that the geographical conditions are so favorable for trade, so what type of trade was going on? It was not in 10, 12 pieces, it was in bulk. So how much amount of things exported, how much amount of thing imported, which was the date, and how much money transaction has been taking place. You need to write it down. You need to maintain a ledger for it. So writing was very, very important because the transactions were taking place and to enhance the trade. Number two, enabled communication of ideas. Now, just now I said that because Mesopotamia never had a natural boundary, so people from outside were easily welcomed. They used to come, and basically they used to come for trade. So when they are coming, they had to communicate with each other. Your way of talking and my way of speaking may not match. So I have to understand what are your requirements. I have to understand you. So in that case, communication of ideas was also very, very important. So writing helped in that. So it helped enrich literature, mathematics, science, formulation of dictionaries, and spread of education. So these things I will be providing you the notes also. So these were very, very important that the communication brought for giving legal validity. When you are selling of a land, piece of land, or when there are other jobs legally done or a trade legally done, so give your trade that sealed part. So you need to write down the things. So writing was also very, very important for land transfers and legal validity, for narrating the deeds of king. Every we have spoken about Gilgamesh. So how Gilgamesh deeds now at this 21st century, we can sit and we can understand his deeds. It was because it was written down. So writing was also important for to understand the deeds of the kings, for announcing changes a king had made in customary laws of the land. So, when there are certain laws changed by the king, and those laws are they need to be written down, because if you are not writing it down somewhere, you will later you will not understand that what are the changes which has been brought up by the king. So that is also the customary law which is changed by the king. To maintain that, writing was very, very important. and to make available to students written material to read, build upon, and pass on to the next generations. None of the momentous Mesopotamian scholarly traditions of time, reckoning, astronomy, and mathematics would have been possible without art of writing. We know that Mesopotamians were the one who first divided time. The way nowadays we look at the time division was done by them. That 12 months will be there, and one like how the months are divided into weeks, how the weeks are divided into days, days are divided into hours. These were all done by the Mesopotamians. So it would have not been possible right now unless and until they would have written it down, because during the excavation of these sites, huge amount of seals and huge amount of tablets have been excavated. So these tablets, they give us enormous idea about the civilization, about the writing, and these are the written sources which enhance like you and me for our history of the world, and we get to know so many things that was happening during the first civilization. So this way, the things happened, and Mesopotamians, they valued city lives, and we know that cities like Mari, then Uruk, these were all built, and these cities, we have also studied about ziggurats, that these cities, they used to build a temple in the middle of the city, so of full height, which could be seen from a far distance. And these temples later on, they used their rooms. It was like a courtyard in the middle, and there were rooms, and the rooms were later used for stocking up the store, or the grains, or the tin, or whatever what was there for trading. So these temples were used, and the temples were also used for record keeping. So this all had helped the people of Mesopotamia to develop themselves, and it has also helped us to understand this civilization in a better format.